My ducks, my swans, welcome to the pond. My name is Dorian from Group82University.com, and today I'm gonna talk to you about how to invest in stocks for rappers. If you have been following me for a while, you know this is something I've been interested in. I'm a rapper. I charted #1 on iTunes. I got millions of streams on Spotify. I got social media followers everywhere. I'm getting money every which way. And when you start getting in that situation, you got to understand how to protect your money, because we've seen all the stories. I done posted so many videos about it on this channel specifically about how people have lost their money. And that was a big fear of mine. So I wanted to make sure that I learned the game. And I picked up a lot of gems along the way, investing 6 figures at this point into the market. And I want to give that information to you in a much better way than it was given to me. So if you about this money, this forever money, this serious money, this mailbox money, shout out, rest in peace, Nipsey. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit share, save. And in the comments below, I want y'all to do me something. Who is the greatest hip hop entrepreneur of all time? We did a poll about it in the YouTube community. You ain't vote on it, go over there and vote on it right now. And these were the, I can edit that out. And these were the results. Who do you think it is? Write in the comments below. I still got it. I still got it, dog. I'm cold with it, cold with it. My ducks, my swans, welcome to the pond. Why rappers need to invest. Besides all the examples we've talked about before, all on this channel, about rappers who have lost their money or mismanaged their money, you need to invest because that's really how the world works. When I got my first royalty check from CD Baby for $13.24, I was shocked that I actually made some money off my music. I've been promoting it for years and nobody listened to it. So I was happy to actually get some money. And I was really shocked with the way that all of a sudden what I had up here in my head was now tangible dollars. And I wanted to keep that coming in. When I went #1 on iTunes with my album True Support, that brought me in around $8,000. I knew I had something for real that could make me some real money. So I had to protect it because I didn't want to be like none of these other dudes that we talked about on this channel. But looking at all this shit over the years, I'm like, well, the reason they losing their money because they buying cribs they don't need, they buying whips they don't need, they buying, you know, $100,000 chains and shit. Like, you don't need all that. That's not stuff I want. Yes, that does contribute to a lot of rappers losing their money. But on the flip side, even if you don't buy all of that, you still can lose your money. How? Dorian, how? Because money loses value over time. Every single second that the clock goes on, your money is losing value over time. From the time that you started watching this video to the time that you're gonna end this video, your money is going to lose value. This concept is called inflation. And if you wanna know how to protect your money from losing value over time, you gotta watch this entire video. I'm gonna give you gems all throughout. Make sure you hit like, make sure you hit share, make sure you hit subscribe, make sure you do all that, because more people gotta know this information. Since the start of this video, gas prices done went up, housing prices done went up, crackhead prank prices done went up, everything done went up. So since all of that's went up, does your money go up with it? How much does your money go up if you got it inside of a duffel bag, inside of a closet in your studio? 0. How much does your money go up in value if you got it stuffed inside an envelope in a safe? 0. How much does your money go up if you put inside of a checking or savings account? 0.03%. Money goes up way higher than that, so how's it supposed to catch up? You gotta know how to beat inflation. How you beat inflation is like this. So the Federal Reserve, that's the Illuminati bank. We look on the back of the dollar bills, it's Federal Reserve, you see that written. Those are the people that control all the money inside the United States of America, right? So they are constantly trying to look at ways to make sure that the economy isn't going belly up. This is why you see them pass all these random laws. They'll raise taxes, they'll lower taxes, they'll pump a bunch of money into the economy, they'll take a bunch of money out of the economy. They're constantly doing this because they're trying to make sure that money goes up at a reasonable rate where it doesn't take us under. They think that that rate is 2%. I don't know how they got it. You gotta ask one of these egghead motherfuckers around here, I don't know, but they say it's 2%. 2%. If inflation is going up 2% every single year, and our savings account is giving us 0.03% on our money every year, that means we are in the hole, negative 1.97. We in the fucking hole. So we gotta find a way to get out of the hole. How do we get out of the hole? We gotta make sure that whatever we put our money in, not only does it not lose money, it needs to gain us money at least 2.1%. Why? Because the Illuminati Bank says their rate is 2%. So we gotta make sure we get 2.1. That's the magic number. Throughout this video, it's gonna be I'm sorry. I know this. That's the magic number. Keep saying that, brother. That's the magic number. Throughout this video, 2.1%. That's the rate that we're looking for wherever we put our money. So if any homeboy ever comes up to you and say, dawg, I can make you some money or put this inside a FanDuel, whoop-de-whoop. If it ain't getting you 2.1%, you don't want nothing to do with it. And we're gonna break all that down throughout this video, so make sure you watch the entire thing. Now, how you find things that are gonna get you a 2.1% return on your money? You know, there's a lot of stuff out there that's gonna get you 2.1% return on your money, but you know, I don't really like getting 2.1%. I want a little bit higher. I'm not super greedy, but 2.1%, like, I feel like Mr. Wonderful on Shark Tank, like, that's just not gonna get me out of bed in the morning. I want something that gets me like 10% return every single year and has been doing it for 70 plus years. Where can you find something that's gonna get you a 10% return on your money every single year? You put $1,000 into it, you're gonna make $100 every single year. It's done it for 70 years. Where? Stock market. And it's easy as hell to learn. What are stocks? Every rapper needs to have a record label. People always ask me in the comments, Dorian, will you sign me to your label? Why don't you start a label? Whoop, whoop. I do have a label. Anytime you put out music into the world, you have a label. The only person on my label is me, because I don't want to deal with other artists right now. But if you do want to deal with other artists, and let's say that you start a record label, man, you're going to need to pay marketing costs. You're going to need to pay promotion costs. You're going to need to pay to get in the Dorian's how to market your music on social media course so you can chart #1 on iTunes and get millions of streams and have 500,000 social media subscribers. You want to do that, click the links below. You got to pay for artist advances and so on and so on. Starting a label costs money, a lot of money, but you believe in yourself. You believe in your music. This is your dream. You focus on it. You feel like you work harder than anybody else, so you about to go after it. You drop your album, it's dope. It goes off. It goes crazy. Your album brings you in $100,000. Phenomenal. That's a great album run. But it costs you $50,000 in expenses to promote that album. I mean, you got in my course, but you wanted to go get a feature from NBA Youngboy. You want to go get a feature from my homeboy Mark Battles back in Naptown. Y'all gonna stream his music. You want to go and have this music video shot here, and you want to rent this Bugatti. Like, start adding up. But it don't matter that it added up because your album went off. Now you got fans. You got 50,000 in the bank, and they are demanding that you go on tour. I repeat, you have 50,000 in the bank, and they are demanding that you go on tour. To go on tour, it's gonna cost you about $250,000. Where are you gonna get $250,000 when you just had the biggest payday of your career and it made you 50 racks? You gotta find people who also believe in you and wanna invest money into you because they know it's gonna return money. Because if you just drop this album out of your house, out of your social media strategies that you learned from our course and everything that you've done, and you have went on and you made $100,000, if they give you $250,000, you can easily make $1 million, right? You get $250,000 and go on tour, you gonna make $1 million? You gotta find people that wanna do that. These people are called investors. A lot of y'all always asking for them, but this is how investments into your career happens. You gotta prove that you can make money before anybody puts money into your career. Battery low? Some bullshit. Some bullshit, man. So let's stop it right here. These are called investors, and you can now make them investors in your record label by doing this one thing, which is called issuing stock. So that's all a stock is. A stock is a little individual certificate that says that you are an owner in that asset, whether it's a company, other things we're gonna talk about inside this video. That's all stock is. So when you hear people say they bought stock in Apple, they bought a little piece of ownership in Apple, and we're gonna talk about later how you can do that. So make sure you watch the entire video, hit like, hit share, save, and send this to the favorite rapper in your life. You got a rapper in your life who you wanna see succeed, who you wanna see make some money, who wanna understand it's forever money. They always rapping about money. Send this to them, man, for real. This could be some life-changing shit, dead ass. The very first stock that I bought was GoPro. And GoPro was a little camera that, you know, they put on the bikes and the helmets and all that. You know, my dad was really into cycling. I would ride with him sometimes, and he was getting into the action sports. Now I realized it was really just a midlife crisis. He still is really active, but, you know, he kept talking about, Junior, GoPro, GoPro, GoPro. I watched a lot of Shark Tank. The CEO of GoPro was on Shark Tank. He was one of the guest sharks. I was like, okay, getting a little bit of money. They went public, you know. I was like, all right, let me buy it. And I bought it. I bought one share. I think I bought it for like $13. And it went to shit because GoPro's a shitball company. They really didn't develop a brand like I thought they were. They really didn't roll out a lot of cool products. It was really just a quick marketing tech play that went up and got a super high valuation, stuff I'll talk about later videos. And the company just really didn't do a lot. So I ended up selling it at $9. So my very first investment I made into the market, I lost money, but that's because I invested in a shitball company. I no longer invest in shitball companies. And I'm gonna teach you how to invest in non-shitball companies. So watch this whole video so you ain't shitballing like I was with GoPro. What is an IPO or going public? What is an IPO or going public? What is an IPO or going public? If you watch any of these movies, Wolf of Wall Street, Boiler Room, The Big Short, anything that talks about stocks and all that, or you watch the financial news, you hear people talk about going public. What does that mean? That means that some jackass at some big ass bank like Morgan Stanley has looked over all the financial books for your record label. They have decided that your record label is suitable for people to buy stock in. They're gonna let everyone know that they approve of this. They're gonna financially back this, and this allows you to go public. That's the entire going public process. It's much deeper than that, obviously, but that gives you a summary. Basically, this is like DistroKid approving your music to go to streaming company. That's all it is. It's a big deal because now anyone can buy stock in your company. Now your company is going to be talked about nonstop on all these financial news channels, and now you can make some serious money. So any company that is striving to be one of the power players, an Apple, a Microsoft, a Tesla, a Nike, going public is going to be the way to get that done. So with your record label, you go public, people buy stock in your company with their money. You can take their money and now finance your tour. See how it all works? Now, how does the stock market work? If you've ever watched CNBC or if you've ever seen them tickers and it's going up and down really fast, you wonder, like, if you was like me, why does it fluctuate like that? What the hell is going on? And how does any of this make sense to money and the dollars? It just seemed like a bunch of bullshit to me, to be honest. But this is how the stock market works. Every time a stock is bought, the price goes up. Every time a stock is sold, the price goes up. So all them little flickerings that you see in, number going up, number going down, the chart, those are people buying and selling the stock. That's how many people are involved in the stock market. That's how many trades go on every single day. There are 1.46 billion trades made on the stock market every single day. How many have you made in your life? How many stocks have you bought? How many stocks have you sold? Being fully transparent, I didn't do this for the first time till I was 31 years old. A lot of y'all are younger than me watching this video. You can go ahead and get started before me because time is your best friend when it comes to investing. A lot of y'all are older than me. You might think it's too late. It's never too late to make more money. So take this opportunity right now to understand that it's a lot of money being made, and we was on the outside looking in. This is your opportunity to get involved. Stocks are sold on two primary exchanges. One, the New York Stock Exchange. Two, NASDAQ. The New York Stock Exchange is where you see them coked up white boys boom, 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 screaming like a big gaming facility going crazy that they call Wall Street. That's the New York Stock Exchange. NASDAQ, I'm sorry, I already said that. NASDAQ, which stands for National Association of Securities Dealers Automated Quotations, or the fuck that means. They are a virtual exchange where you can buy online. These two exchanges are pretty much the Spotify and Apple Music for stock. There's other exchanges out there, but if you're really trying to get busy, this is where you need to be. So if you want to have a successful IPO, this is where companies are going to go. Your record label's doing great. Your stock went public. You want to let the whole world know that they can buy stock. So how are they able to buy stock in your record label? What's the exact process? Do they got to go through your website? Do you got to send them a DM? Or are you handing them a flyer? It ain't none of that. It's very easy to buy stocks, and people make this a lot more difficult than it needs to be. This is a very simple process. A lot of y'all have kind of done this process before, but you use your imagination with it. To buy stocks, you got to go through a plug, and this plug is going to be called a brokerage. brokerage. A brokerage is someone that you give money and they buy stocks on your behalf and they hold it for you and they make sure that they get their fees and the gains and whoop-de-whoop. And anytime you want to extract that money out, you tell the brokers like, hey man, I need my money. I gave you some money so you can go do something with it, and you brought it back and I see the money's going up, I want my money. That's what a brokerage does. So let's say your record label stock goes public and I want to buy it. You open up at $100. That's what your price is. I'm going to go into my phone. I'm going to open up my brokerage, which is Fidelity. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to see your record label stock. I'm going to put $100 to my Fidelity account. I'm going to tell Fidelity to buy your record label stock. Fidelity is going to place the order for me on your record label stock. And then they're going to send me an email 30 minutes, an hour later, whenever, say you are now an owner of this record label. In this example, Fidelity is the plug. I'm gonna keep it all the way real with y'all. Fidelity is a shitball ass plug, okay? They've been around for a minute and they've been doing things for a long time, so they're trustworthy, but the app sucks. You know, it's very hard to see what's going on. It's just not really user-friendly. It's not modernized, you know, because I came from another plug. His name was Robinhood, right? Robinhood was the first one that really told me that I can buy whatever I want and he ain't gonna take no fee. See, Fidelity and Charles Schwab, TD Ameritrade and E-Trade, back in the day, they was just taxing boys, just taking fees, so I ain't really wanna buy from them. But Robinhood came along, he was talking good. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna mess with you. So I started buying stocks through Robinhood and you know, it made sense. I liked it, it had a cool little app, it was gamified, it was really, really cool. But then Robinhood started tripping, man. You know, I would ask Robinhood to send me my money back and they would be, you know, kind of slow up on it. And then I was watching TV one day and I heard that Robinhood told a lot of people that they couldn't buy stock, GameStop, when they wanted to. They stopped them. I ain't with that shit. How you gonna tell me what I can and can't buy? I'm cool. So I switched off of Robinhood. He's young. He's trying to take the penitentiary chances. I can't do it. So I went to the old man. I went to the OG. I went to Fidelity. He corny. He got these lame ass stories, but my money's good, my money's protected, and these are the plugs that I've used to get my stocks bought. Now, the great thing about when you buy stocks, it used to be back in the day, I told you when they was waxing boys, Charles Schwab, all them, that you had to buy the whole stock. So if your record label stock was $100, I had to buy the whole thing. But what Robinhood introduced, which is why I'm still cool with him a little bit, I ain't got no money over there. Me, I'm still cool though. Robinhood introduced fractional buy. So let's say I only had $20, because when I was 23, 24 years old, $100 was a lot of money. If it wasn't going towards food, it wasn't going towards shelter, it wasn't going towards survival, I wasn't about to put $100 in the market. I just couldn't do that. But I could put $20 in the market. So let's say I had $20. Robinhood would let me buy $20 of your record label stock. They were the first people to really do that. So although I wouldn't own a whole share, I would own 1/5 of a share because, you know, $20 of 100 is 1/5. And 1/5 of a company that you believe in is way better than 0/5 of any company that you believe in. It's always better to have money in the market than outside the market. Why? Because we gotta beat inflation, we gotta beat 2.1. And I'm gonna get to there with how we beat 2.1. But before I do that, what app do y'all use to buy stock? Robinhood, Fidelity, Charles Schwab, Webull, whomever. Write in the comments below and tell us your experiences with it so we can kind of see which ones we need to be on. I look forward to reading that. I'm gonna write some comments, I'm gonna respond to some people down there, so y'all go ahead and do that. So this is all fine and dandy, right? We got the record label stock, we did all that, but what about the other company? What about Apple? What about Microsoft? What about all this stuff? How do you know which stocks to buy? That was my question. I see all these numbers, see things flickering. How do I know which stocks to buy? Everybody want to be a rapper today. Everybody. There's 60,000 songs uploaded to Spotify every single day because everybody want to be a rapper. How do you know which songs are good and which songs is whack? Besides going through in your own personal taste, the quickest way to do that is through playlists. You can type in a mood that you're in on Spotify. I'm in a chill mood. I'm in a hype mood. I'm about to go work out. I'm about to go run. I want to hear old school hip hop, 90s R&B, whatever it is. And playlists will pop up. And that playlist is curated by that playlist curator to give you the music for that mood. It makes it a lot easier to know which are the best songs for this mood that's gonna get me through this activity that I'm trying to do. And if you wanna learn the whole Spotify, side note, I don't even know what the hell that's gonna do. Bill Cosby, GIF, What'd he do? I think it was walking past, got the, I edit all this out. Anyway, what the hell was I about to say? If you want to learn about the playlist game, inside my course, How to Market Your Music on Social Media, I dedicated multiple lessons just on Spotify playlists. It's literally how I got 1 million streams. And that's what really kickstarted my entire music career, is getting that traction on Spotify. So if you're an artist, you're really serious about that, click the link below and enroll our How to Market Your Music on Social Media class at group82university.com. Spotify playlists are dope. That's how I got my music discovered by a lot of people, because all people had to do was press play and it did the work for it. The stock market has its own playlists. They're called indexes. And just like a playlist will have certain songs around a certain type of mood, a stock market index will have a bunch of stocks based on a certain industry, a certain sector, a certain benefit that all these stocks give together. Learning these indexes are the best way to really understand the stock market, because just like the playlist did all the work for you, all you gotta do is press play. The indexes did all the work for you. All you gotta do is press buy. And here are the 3 major stock indexes playlist. The first one is the S&P 500. Standard & Poor's 500. Standard & Poor's some old white dude. But what the Standard & Poor's 500 is these are the 500 best companies in America, quote unquote. Every company on the Standard & Poor's 500, S&P 500, are worth at least $10 billion. At least. That's the bare minimum to get into the club. You wanna walk in, want a table, $10 billion. So these are the biggest companies in the world. I compare the S&P 500 to Spotify's biggest playlist, which is today's top hit. When you go to that playlist, you see it got 33 million likes or whatever it is at this point, and you look at the artists who are on that playlist. Drake, Justin Bieber, Future, Post Malone, Doja Cat, Bad Bunny. These are artists that sell massive amount of records. These are global artists. These are international artists that can sell out arenas, and some people can even sell out stadiums. If you want to have a record label, it's probably gonna be a good idea to get one of those artists. The S&P 500 got heavy hitters too, just like that. Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, Nike, even ones that we all use that y'all might laugh at, Dollar General, Southwest Airlines. Once again, they gotta have $10 billion to get in the club, so clearly they do. These are companies that we've heard of, these are companies that we use, these are companies that we see. So the S&P 500 is by far my favorite index, because it really gives you an idea of what America has going on economically. The second index is the NASDAQ 100. And I compare this to Rap Caviar. You know, Rap Caviar is Spotify's biggest rap playlist. As of right now, that playlist has 14 million likes. I used to listen to Rap Caviar all the time. When Spotify first came out, I felt like that playlist was really pushing forward, not just mainstream artists, but independent artists too. And it was great to hear songs before they got on the radio or became memes on social media. But like anything, the labels got in there, they pimped out Spotify, now they own all the shit, so they own that playlist, so it's straight just mainstream artists. I used to listen to Rap Caviar all the time. I don't listen to it no more, because it was the same 20 artists. The NASDAQ 100 tracked the top 100 tech company in America. They got other sectors in there, but the NASDAQ is known primarily for tech, like Rap Caviar is known primarily for rap. And just like the same damn 20 artists are on the Rap Caviar playlist and say there, the same damn 20 companies in the NASDAQ 100 make up majority of the market cap. What's market cap? That's how much you work. That $10 billion to get in the club, that's their market cap. Go look up Apple's market cap. Go look up Amazon's market cap, so you can see how real this really is. 10 billion is chump change. And that's primarily why the NASDAQ 100 gets so much pub, because it has most of the companies that have the largest market cap. So you talking Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, Meta, which is Facebook, Alphabet, which is Google. Go look at what all of them are worth. Mega market cap. Just like Rap Caviar will have the same rap artists. Kanye West, Kendrick Lamar, Drake, Lil Baby, J. Cole. Same ones that we always see, that's been on there forever. It's the exact same thing with this. So if you are leaning heavy into rap, because rap permeates all culture, we know rap is everywhere. There ain't a continent in the world where you can't go and hear no rap music or hear people use rap lingo. We see it everywhere. There's more music than rap out there, right? So you probably just don't want to invest your money just in rap, right? Because the NASDAQ 100, I mean, you talking Apple, you talking Microsoft, you talking Tesla, you talking Meta, Facebook, you talking Alphabet. These are the biggest companies in the world. They're in everything. But there's industries outside of tech too, right? So you want to have your money in here? Hey, That's cool. Your money, your choice. Ain't none of this financial advice. I like to diversify myself a little bit. So the NASDAQ 100 is cool, but you know, it is what it is. If you're a basketball fan, specifically college basketball, in the 2022 NCAA tournament, you might have seen this commercial from Invesco talking about QQQ, QQQ. QQQ. What is QQQ? I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later and how it was directly tied to the NASDAQ 100. But for the final index playlist, we're gonna go to number 3, which is the Dow Jones Industrial Average. I compare the Dow Jones Industrial Average like the All Out 2000s playlist. 80s babies, I'm exposed myself. We ain't gotta hide no more. 90s babies been bullying us. 2000s babies been bullying us. 10s babies, y'all can't even talk. Y'all been bullying us too. It don't matter. I was born in 1984. I graduated high school in 2002. So sometimes when I'm in the gym and I need to finish that last set or it's gonna be a heavy lift day, I need to hear Little John tell me to knock a nigga's head off. I need to hear Ludacris talking that cash shit that he was talking back in that era. I need to hear that 2000s music, that 50 Cent, when Wanksta drop, when In the Club drop, Get Rich or Die Trying. That is just what gets me going. And I love the fact that I can hop in a time capsule on Spotify in the All Out 2000s playlist and I can get that energy, but I can hop right back out. Because I can't listen to that music every day. It's old. When you go look at the playlist, it got 10 million likes. So that shows I'm not alone. And listen to the songs that's on this playlist. Umbrella by Rihanna. In the Club, 50 Cent. Just Dance, Lady Gaga. Yeah, Usher featuring Little John, Ludacris. Lose Yourself, Eminem. No matter what happens to the end of time, those songs are always gonna be associated with that 2000s era. The Dow Jones Industrial Average takes a lot of industrial companies, blue chip companies, older companies, 30 of them, puts them inside of an average and says, this is what's going on based on our proprietary score. Dow is Charles Dow. Jones is Edward Jones, things you might have seen before. Old ass white dudes. They decided who was cool and who wasn't, and they made a list and people still talk about it. As of June 6, 2022, these are the top 5 weighted companies in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. United Health Group, Goldman Sachs, Home Depot, Microsoft, and McDonald's. These are all companies that we heard of. Most people use a couple of these companies every single day. These are companies that have been around forever, and they're gonna stay around forever. And they're always going to be associated with the financial health of America because they're in the fabric of America. This is what old Wall Street considered the reflection of the market. Do you think that's true? That's up to you to decide. So between the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ and the S&P 500, which of those 3 do you think you should really be following and paying attention to? I want you to write in the comments below. I'm interested to see y'all different opinions. Because for me, I looked at it like this. I'm trying to make as much money as I possibly can. Yeah, I listen primarily to rap, right? And I like that old 2000s music. But today's top hit, that is where all the action is. That's where all the money is. That's where everybody is streaming, and I want my shit in the middle. I'm gonna invest in any playlist, because that's where all the action is. All those artists are making big money. All those stocks are making big money. It would be great if I could invest in each individual artist or each individual stock. But that's gonna take a lot of money. That's gonna take a lot of time, and stuff goes up and down. What if I could just invest in a specific playlist of those artists? What if I could just invest in a specific index of those stocks? You can do that. It's called index funds. I don't care what you take from this video. I don't care where you stopped it at. I don't care where you start cussing me out and saying this guy has no idea what he's talking about. I don't care. I want you to listen to this, okay? This right here is the best investment advice I've ever received, that I've heard everywhere. I've tried myself and it worked. Index funds are that YouTube producer that as soon as they drop a video, you get your notifications, you go and listen to that beat because he got some heat. Index funds are that engineer that you love working with because it's usually 1 to 2 takes and they know how to mix your vocals perfect. Index funds are that one fan that no matter what you post or what you say on social media, they always write a genuine comment because they love you. Index funds are my best friend. Index funds are my main bitch because index funds allows me to diversify my money and invest in a whole bunch of stuff for a very cheap price. We got the S&P 500, we got NASDAQ, we got Dow Jones. There are index funds that follow each and every single one. So you ain't gotta go through and buy all 500 stocks in the S&P 500. You can just invest in the S&P 500 index fund, get one share of that, and get a piece of all 500 stock or something close to it. So look at this like, instead of sending your video to each of your fans on Instagram via DM, you just post it to your feed and they all can see it. You can buy index funds on the stock market through what's called an ETF. That is basically the new age term for an index fund, an ETF, which is an exchange traded fund. Remember earlier we was talking about QQQ, Investco, and the whole NCAA tournament commercial? That's what QQQ is. It is an ETF that follows the NASDAQ 100. So if you want to invest in the NASDAQ 100 without buying all 100 stocks, you can go buy the QQQ ETF and that'll get you inside of there. I am not invested in QQQ, but I am invested in a couple of ETFs, and I'm gonna give you my favorite one. Remember we talked about shitball companies earlier? I invested in GoPro. They were a shitball company. This is how you invest in non-shitball companies. You look at these companies that have went up in value over time and have consistently paid their investors a return that's above what? Our magic number is what? 2.1%. Eventually, we're gonna do a video on how to read stock market charts. If y'all want me to do that video, write inside the comments and I get that in the chamber for you. My favorite ETF at the moment doesn't give you a 2.1% return. It doesn't give you a 4 or 5% return. It doesn't give you an 8, 9% return. You know, this ETF, historically speaking, with the data, since it's been around, this is facts, so put it up on the screen for you, has given a 10.99% return. So that's well above our 2.1. What is the name of this ETF? SPHD. SP because it follows the S&P 500. H because I don't know what the hell that means. But D stands for a lot of stuff y'all thinking that you probably shouldn't be thinking right now. It stands for dividend. What the hell is a dividend? A dividend is a royalty payment that you get just for owning a stock. A dividend is a royalty payment you get just for owning a stock. So you know how your music on Spotify, when it gets streams, you get royalties? The exact same thing can happen if you just own stock. SPHD takes 51 companies inside of the S&P 500 that pays dividend. You invest in SPHD, and every single month, SPHD pays a dividend to you. I love SPHD. As of June 6, 2022, SPHD was paying a dividend of $1.60 for every single share that was owned. You take $1.60 divided by 12 months, because these are annual dividends, that's how they do it, and you get paid 14 cents a month. 14 cents a month, a royalty, just for owning one share of this stock. Inside of my daughter's portfolio, I really push anything that has a dividend, because there's a term I'm gonna talk about later that really makes everything go up and go crazy. It's how I've been able to protect my money and hers. The great thing about the two plugs I've had, Robinhood and Fidelity, inside of the apps you can turn on drip. Now drip, I ain't talking about this drip or that drip or that drip or this drip or his drip or her drip. We ain't talking about that, okay? Get all that ignorant shit out your head. We talking about for real drip. We talking about dividend reinvestment program. What the hell does that mean? That means that every single month, when SPHD pays us our dividend, our royalty payment of 14 cents, I have it turned on where my daughter's account automatically takes that 14 cents and buys more shares of SPHD. Remember I told you to plug Robinhood, he lets you buy a little bit of this. I didn't have to buy your whole record label stock for $100. I could just buy it for 20. And now everybody else start copying Robinhood because you know they dick riders. And now you can do that with anything. So if you turn on drip, those dividends go right back in. And now that just starts building up like crazy, because the next month we own more of SPHD, so our dividend is gonna be higher. Therefore, it buys more SPHD. And our dividend is gonna be higher, and it buys more SPHD, and it just keeps going. This is how generational wealth accrues. This is how you protect your money. This is how you see these people that sell insurance, or, you know, they own a car wash, but they got an $800,000 house, and, you know, they got the Tesla Model X because their granddaddy's been knowing this and they passed this down. This is the greatest concept that most rappers don't know, but now we all do because y'all watch this video. This is called compound interest. Albert Einstein's big head ass is considered one of the smartest people that ever walked this. He was really dope in quantum physics and relativity and some other shit. I don't know, the real nerdy, like, you know, if you ever been to college, you on a college campus, you know, there's certain labs that you just never, ever gonna go in. I don't care what class you take. That's where his ass was, back there. And even he had this to say about compound interest. Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it, earns it. He who doesn't, pays it. Compound interest can be the greatest accumulator of wealth that you have ever seen. And compound interest can be the greatest accumulator of debt that you have ever seen. It's an oscillation. It works both ways. Everybody who has watched this video, you've been through what I'm about to talk about. There's been someone in your life that has told you they can double your money. You probably got somebody that texted you today or called you and told you they can double your money. Pretty sure I checked my emails or my DMs. There is someone in there saying, Dorian, I can double your money. I'm gonna give you something where you can always make sure that nobody gets over on you, because you know how long it would actually take for them to double your money, and that's called the rule of 72. We back at the record label. We on tour. It's now time to sell shirts. If you buy $1,000 worth of merch, how long would it take to turn that 1,000 into 2,000? I'm asking, how long? Some of y'all say, I can do that today. What proof do you have of that? You got proof of sales? How do we know that? Because a lot of stuff got to factor into that. What does it say on the shirt? How does the shirt feel? How many people were at the show that you're selling the shirt? How did y'all present the table? How did you market the shirt? How many Instagram followers you got? How many YouTube subscribers you got? Do people even like you? Do people even like you with clothes on? Do people even like your brand? Gas prices, food prices, supply chain. Did they print the shirt right? It's all types of shit you got to think about. So ain't no telling how long it would take for you to double your money, to take it from $1,000 to $2,000. It's too many variables. What if you always had that info to know that regardless of the variables, I know how long it's going to take? This is the rule of 72. SPHD gives us a 10% return. Every year, 10%. You take the number 72 and you divide it, which for SPHD is 10%, by that number. 72 divided by 10 equals 7.2. And those are years. For us to double our money inside of SPHD, it's going to take us 7.2 years. That's the rule of 72. If somebody says they're going to offer you a 5% return on your money, you know it's going to take us 14 plus years. If somebody says they're going to offer a 36% return on your money, you know it's going to take 2 years. If somebody says they're going to offer you a 72% return on your money, and I'm telling y'all right now, 20%, 25, 30, 40, 50, 70, 1,000. I've seen stuff online with crypto, 1,000,000% returns. Gas, do not listen to these people. But even if someone offers you a 72% return on your money, that's still gonna take you a year to double your money. There's no such thing as quick flips in here. You gotta understand that. So if anybody says they can double your money, if they can't give you the rate of return, why are you even talking to them? Because you can put that money in the stock market and you know exactly how long it's gonna take. You can't do that with garage sales. You can't do that with drop shipping. You can't do that with slanging CDs or whatever it is y'all be selling t-shirts. You can't do that. Those are quick flips. Those are hustles. When you start doing this long-term investing, you start understanding this. And the rule of 72 is how compound interest accumulates, and that's how generational wealth happens. You're a rapper. You're not an entrepreneur. You didn't want to be. You've been forced to be. If you want to make music now, you have to understand how to take care of your money. If not, you're going to be like all these people that we've talked about. This right here is a guide that's going to last forever on how to make money, how to invest your money, and how to protect your money. Send this to any rapper who you care about that you don't want to see on some headline being embarrassed because they ain't do what they supposed to do with that money. We're going to continue to give y'all all this finance knowledge, but y'all got to hit subscribe and y'all got to share. If you're an artist and you ready to get this true music marketing game, click the links below and get inside of our How to Market Your Music on Social Media class and our How to Grow Your YouTube channel course. For those y'all that want to learn more about investing, I got a free crypto course in the description as well. So go down there and click that. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I'm out the pod. Y'all stay true.
Group82University.com